Alright, they're waiting for you to take the door, Artyom. Because apparently we're playing Call of Metro now.
That was literally specifically to me because the rest of you are wearing gas masks.
Artyom?
This does have a sort of suddenly a group of James Cameron archetypes get together and form a band for the end of the game. And it's like you've been alone for most of the game or just with one other person, and now you're in this group of wisecracking, bonded by blood, post-apocalyptic Marines. And it does feel like we've jumped into a different game.
So my mistake. Wiseacre is still alive, and apparently he didn't really give a shit about Boris.
Yeah. I mean, it was Boris. Nobody really cares about him.
When Wiseacre dies, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh no, he's dead."
I
regret, Mrs. Boris. I regret to inform you that your husband, smartass, died. And Nosalis tragically shot him in the back 7 times.
Oh. What is going on with what?
And then stole his filters.
What? Did you guys see that, like, trippin' Nosalis there? What the hell was that?
I think maybe there wasn't a lot of
dense.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe that during playtesting they didn't have a lot of players like knifing their way through this part of the game. For some reason.
You can tell I don't actually use the knife very often because I just got a knife achievement for killing like 20 enemies or something.
Careful, man. Careful. Shit. Fire.
But
What?
you know, here at the end of the game they give you all guns for free. Tons of ammo, and so what happens? You go around and jab everybody with your tickle stick.
Like, if you look at my Kalashnikov, I only have 1.5 clips, so sorry, 1.5 magazines. I'm sure that's gonna piss people off.
Hit me.
Let's throw some knives. What the hell?
What the heck? You only die twice anyway. Look at the color of the lighting in here, this deep green and then transitioning to kind of an orange. I really appreciate this, and then it pale blue. It's like you never get that, oh, more of this crap again. Every area has its own texture and its own feel.
Well, it's not like Fallout 3, for example, where it's either green or brown. And it's usually long segments of either one.
I'm not surprised. Well, the other thing I really like about it is that it's really hard to do that without it becoming like 1990s colored lighting, like Quake 2 era, gaudy. This has lots of color, but it never feels not organic to the environment, which is really impressive.
Josh, what did you do?
I apparently got eaten by a gate. But now I can stand up again, so... Alright.
I remember the early days of colored lighting, and that was pretty hilarious.
Crap.
Way to conserve ammo over there, Josh. Fire 7 warning shot. Graze it lightly in the temple.
Come on, damn it.
Okay, Jed, I think it's warned enough.
Fucking.
I think somebody needs a trip from the rhythm stick. Oh God!
So,
did you just explode
conserving
in
ammunition. I did explode I exploded in sticky grenades, actually.
Wow. Ask your doctor about not doing that. I'm going to charge my flashlight at you.
Oh, that's so annoying! God! Okay, fine, jeez. I'll go.
I really hate games like that where where an enemy will like, "Roar, I'm here to fight you, but first I'm gonna go hide," and leave you standing there with nothing to do, waiting for me to pop out again.
Artyom, I'm hiding in the vents. Come and find me.
And you just feel like the monster's like, I know I won't win, but I can definitely waste some of your time. Knife a wooden door. I see. Yep. I have nothing to criticize this about. That seems perfectly reasonable to me. What is even going on? I hear
think
pieces
this is
of
actually the place that we need to go. So
really inefficient poltergeist.
Let's go around this way. Yeah, that would be doors. Doors are super weird.
Do the handles not work?
Apparently not. Oh man, I think this is Havoc physics. Look what I did. Yeah.
Okay, Josh, are you opening the door or are you making popcorn?
Why can't I do both at the same time?
Oh, this is so silly that you just sort of like slap the door with the flat of the blade and it breaks into these giant floaty styrofoam chunks of wood-colored.
Oh, okay.
That hit each other and
material.
then combust.
Yes! Why are you having to bash through these wooden doors in this section? Like, oh man, I'll bet the player is really hunkering for maybe some door smashing action here.
So in most
I always hate
literature,
going
doors
down ladders
symbolize
in
the ability to like.
Sorry, go ahead, Camster. I'm sure.
No, I was just going to make a smart-ass comment.
About ladders.
What do doors symbolize? Finish the thought.
No, I was just going to say that doors, in most literature, doors symbolize, you know, access, portals, entry, and allowances of things in. And in this video game, they literally exist to block you until you hit them with a knife.
Chris, let's not mince words. In video games, you're like, oh shit, a door. Fuck.
After you've killed 400 people, you stop at a rotting wooden door and you're like, I'm gonna have to wait for an NPC to handle this.
I guess, you know, compared to that, smacking it open with your knife is somewhat more empowering.
Oh yeah. This is
or
actually a real
cathartic.
breakthrough. Yeah, we didn't have to wait for a teammate to open the door for us, so we're allowed to go to the rest of the game.
Literacy is a doorway to knowledge, which is why we should take knives and hit literacy with them.
So we gotta play hide and seek with these guys.
They hide for a while, so you're like, are you coming back? No? Alright, fine, I'm gonna move on, and then they come and they start chewing on your bum. And you're like, oh, I wanted to
coming from the same thing every time. Hey, what up?
It's like, if you wanted to fight, just say so, get out here and we can are you done? Okay, well then I'm gonna leave. Oh no, now you wanna fight? Oh, come on, I'm busy.
I think they were going for a scary thing here, but it's pretty apparent that a lot of the love and budget went into the first half of the game and not as much the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point you've got awesome weapons. You feel pretty empowered. I didn't find this... Like, the beginning of the game was pretty spooky. And this section was not spooky at all, even when it threw monsters with glowing eyes at you in the dark. And it just... I think after a while the game's kind of expended its repertoire of tricks, and it's basically we're at the point where, like, all right, I want to get on with this.
I think the one scary thing this game does well that's actually kind of hard to do well is not the jump scare and not the atmospheric scare, but that scare where you're fighting something and you know it's there and you're looking for it and then it jumps from behind you and attacks you and you're like, ah, god damn it!
Yeah.
So the really annoying Counter-Strike player scare.
Well, yeah, but here it's fun because you don't instantly die.
Right.
You just go, ah, I took some damage and my thing broke.
Yeah.
I prefer to think of it as the spy scare.
Oh.
Artyom, here!
You know, based on your old Unreal Tournament habits, it would almost seem like the spy would be the class you would be most suited to, Seamus. I guess the TF2 environment's very chaotic.
Stefan.
Yeah, it is. I expected
All
to
those
be a
good
natural
times we had with
scout.
Stefan. The time that he did the thing and it was funny and we all laughed.
And then that time he
And
died
that's
trying to
Stefan.
save the world.
Yeah, that was... Get you right here, man.
Looks like an automatic system.
I'll check it out.
I believe we ride this exact same subway in Last Light, at the beginning of Last Light.
Yes.
I believe we ride this exact same subway in Doom 3.
But I mean, it like looks the same. They took time to make it the same. It's actually kind of cool.
Alright, let's
This is
do
like
it.
a haunted train car
Onward.
that like has a will of its own.
So the next station is D6.
We're going to D6.
Fly
So-
like a D6.
In the world of Last Light, are like train engineers really valuable commodities?
We'd found the legendary command center,
Yes.
but was it worth so many lives?
I don't know if
Someone
it's
would know
actually
the
stated in Last Light at all, but like in the novel, it's explicitly mentioned that like employees of the Metro, before it got blown up, were like in the early days were like guides and they were the only people who really know how to find their way around, how to keep things working, so they sort of naturally became leaders of stations.
Take my spare filter.
Great, more gas mask sections.
DM says you're gonna die. Roll a D6.
So what are you reading?
He's reading the back of the cheese packet. He's like, oh my gosh, I've had this in my pocket the whole time. Get rid of this. This is dangerous.
Oh my god, I've already eaten like 7 of these. Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
This is a pretty cool, expensive level.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like it's gonna be like a shooter where like you're just on these like, narrow walkways and you're not even gonna get to go over here, but you would be wrong. Also, we apparently threw some railing over the side for no reason. Nice going there, Vladimir.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Especially what, is it that you're valuable? Or is it that he was watching and he's like, yeah, don't fool me, I know you've had to reload several times during these parts.
I only died once, I swear.
You fell down the hole, you fell several times during the secret passage part.
I would love if they added tweaks to AI in games like this, where if you did something stupid like ran around using the knife, they would actually comment on it. This starts to feel a little Half-Life. Just hey.
And it's not just
quite
like
What, you
run
mean how there's a
tram.
bunch of trains?
Yeah.
Oh, ow. I guess that should have been kind of obvious. Don't step on the open electrical current.
Take your time there, NPC. We'll just stand here on this charged rail. No rush.
You know, I imagined everything just as it is. There's something about these objects. They have Soviet soul, but you wouldn't know about that.
It's
So
weird.
the major major Russian airline currently like has a hammer and sickle in its logo.
There's a good chance it still works.
And he just commented that objects have this Soviet soul. That's an interesting comment, because obviously in America we often use Soviet and Russian as if they were interchangeable, kind of like how people use America and USA as if they were interchangeable. But he's speaking specifically like this feels like Soviet stuff, not Russian stuff. And I think that's
Russian stuff from this particular era.
Right.
Government, not like later.
Right.
We think of Soviet stuff like we think of certain things that are really expensive and really, really nice, and then like most things just being shit. Like that's the stereotype we have of Soviet era stuff. I have no idea in fact how accurate that is.
Right, and probably for them, saying something is Soviet means something different. It might mean, oh, it's built unnecessarily tough, or something like that. Oh, it's a tram car that's built like a friggin' tank, for no reason. That might mean, that might be what something being very Soviet means to them. It's hard to know. It's like an idiom we don't understand, because we have the same idiom, but it works completely differently.
This is something that would give you fear of heights.
Yeah.
Did you just like hip thrust in the direction of that railing and it flew off?
He pelvic thrusted the railing into the abyss. And he didn't even buy it a drink first.
I don't. The thought of being on
right,
this thing
hold it.
doesn't bother me too much, but the idea of running around this circle does.
Again, the Half-Life feel, where you're just on these crazy catwalks, zipping around, pushing buttons, and it's like, wait, why are we up this high with no railings?
The fourth button.
Yeah, Half-Life really suffered from that. You don't realize how dumb a lot of it is until you see something like Freeman's Mind, where like the guy's trying to narrate it in a grounded sense, and he's like, so they turn on their fans by climbing down a ladder, hitting the button, and then climbing like hell back up the ladder so they can get up before the wind turbines behead them.
Yes!
This is some pretty gripping fucking gameplay right here.
Where somebody screams a button at you for you to press, and then you go
That's
press
not even
it.
press, you have to hold it down.
This is the world's most inefficient QuickTime event.
It's like the Stanley Parable without the parable part.
Narrator shows up like halfway through. And then Stanley pressed a bunch of buttons. And the nuke's launched or something.
Like, what would happen if you'd fuck that up? Can you fuck that up?
I believe you have to start over. I think I screwed it
so
up. Either
weird.
Yeah.
You said
Incidentally,
3? I just did 2.
Oh
yeah.
Okay,
when you
that's
have to
a
start
little.
over,
I don't know what to
about
do with that.
Hollywood movies about the Soviet Union.
I don't know what to do with that. That line. I'm just gonna let that one pass. Pass.
So when you have to start it over, Seamus, does it like insta-fail you by having the whole thing blow up? Or is it like, oh, I screwed up. Which one was that? That was 3? I hit 2.
I think it shuts.
And the other guy's
I think
like,
it shuts back down.
okay, so it does. So the guy's like, oh, well, we gotta start this whole thing over. Okay. That's at least
That's what
less
I think.
terrible than
It's
it
not like,
blows up
oh,
for no
you
reason.
destabilized the nuclear reactor. We're all dead. Great going.
Exactly.
It's very odd. Like, I'm not saying that would have been better. I don't really think it would have in a lot of ways, but it's just so odd to have a section where you're just moving back and forth and pushing arbitrary buttons. There's no real failure state, like narratively that's too dire, and where there's no danger during the sequence.
And you have no choice, and it's not a puzzle, there's nothing to figure out. It is literally just do A, just follow the directions that are being screamed at you, and then we'll allow you to proceed. It's not gameplay, it's not challenging, it's not stimulating. It's really, literally busy work.
Thank God we don't have to go all the way down. Oh, something feels very...
Thank you for saying that. Now we will have to go all the way down.
Coming out to meet you the long way down.
I love the lighting here.
Yeah.
I keep saying that, but it is really impressive.
Again, for a game that's all sewers.
Yeah, like the games that it just sort of really puts to shame a lot of military shooters that take place in exotic environments, and you travel all over the world and it's brown everywhere with white lights.
Correct, we need to go there. But how can we open this gate, huh?
I think that's becoming less common. I haven't played the military shooters in the past couple years, but I think we are kind of passing through that dark age or the gray age. I think game designers are getting over it.
I didn't even notice it so much at the time, but whenever someone posts a screenshot of Fallout 3, I feel like puking. It's all the same color.
You can do a monochrome game and have it work. I think Human Revolution was yellowy, but it worked. There was enough variety.
Yeah, but Fallout 3 did not work.
Well,
No,
Fallout 3 suffers
Yeah.
from a lack of any good art direction whatsoever, really. But
And variety. I mean, really, once you've played
Quiet.
through the first hour of the game, you've basically seen almost all of the motifs. Like, you've seen 90% of the artwork, and you're gonna be there for, you know, another 100 hours looking at that same crap over and over again with the same lighting.
I met a new guy. Check it out. It's one of the guys with like the 8 hairstyles NPCs use. Kind of mottled skin, and he's talking to me while he's holding a gun, pointing it to the side, and it kind of looks like maybe a shotgun. And oh yeah, he's wearing some grayish chipped armor, missing a lot of its paint.
All right,
And he's dirty.
we're in Houston. Let's launch space shuttles. Go to the moon.
I like this room.
Where's the get?
Yeah, this is very
let me
well.
move here.
You would really. This is like a very retro computer style room, where it resists the urge to. Cause it's actually a little bit odd almost that these do look like old computers. They don't look like old video game computers. They look like actually computers that would have been in this era.
Would have been from like the 80s. Although maybe Soviet computers looked a little bit different in different years. I don't know how their computers progressed, but this is like 80s computers. I want to say early 80s.
I always said the army was a worthwhile institution.
It's working. Now that's
Yeah, usually
Like
things
these are
rather
really dummy
hard.
terminals. Yeah, these would be
the-
dummy terminals talking to a mainframe somewhere.
first.
There's a cool bit here.
Destroyed.
I don't know if we missed it or not. Where
Destroyed.
this is turning on
Here's one. Now,
the phone, like one of these phones rings for a little bit, and nobody notices.
What the hell? What happened?
And it's not really ever like talked about or mentioned, but it's like kind of like the freaky, like, hey, we just activated this and someone is calling us.
That's kind of
Really
weird.
creepy.
That is really creepy.
Yeah.
And you think about guys that grew up in the sewers and were
Stop laughing.
wee little kids or weren't born yet when the bombs fell or whatever the apocalypse was. That you think about that, they would hear a ringing phone and they would not know, they would not differentiate between that and any other alarm sound. They wouldn't immediately think, oh, find the telephone and answer it.
Holman, follow me.
Yeah. Now, like, at least 2 of these guys are old, presumably Soviet or shortly after Soviet, like, technicians, army guys. Hello. So they knew what the hell they were talking about.
I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
Oh, this part of the
And
game.
which is-
Screw this
yeah.
part of the game.
Holman, Change of plans.
That looked
You
really
stay
kind
with
of.
Vlad.
So this is the beginning of the worst part of the entire fucking game, by far.
I love it whenever Josh.
And it
says
didn't
that.
have
It's
to
that's
be.
when I settle down, like, oh yeah, we're in for a
It
good
didn't have
episode
to
here.
be bad like this, but it was, and you'll see why in a minute. Incidentally, get ready. We may have a montage.
Yeah, this was some tedious. Okay, I'll describe it. We've got these little sphere enemies. They're just like these jelly blobs that come after. Yeah, amoebas. They come after us. You shoot them, then they blow up and spray acid everywhere. And they keep coming, and it's not entirely clear. What you're supposed to do is blow up their nests. For one thing, I didn't even realize you could blow up their nests. You know, it's not like the game is giving you a shoot the nests mechanic before now, so that you'll know.
I'm just gonna switch straight to pre-war ammunition here.
So I didn't know it was supposed to be shooting the nests, and when you shoot the net, when you do happen to hit the nests, it's not like it makes a sound or gives off particle effects to let you know that, hey, you're doing something important. You keep doing this. So you just keep shooting the obvious monsters all around you, and your companion keeps charging forward, passing more and more nests, so there are just more and more of them coming. So it's not at all obvious what you're supposed to be doing here. And
charging is an interesting way to put it, Seamus. Hello, random.
Moseying in a suicidal manner.
It's a pretty well-armed baby.
That really is the most heavily armed baby doll in the world.
It's like, yeah, you can have this stuff. Almost done. You guys remember when they added slime to Minecraft, and for a while there it ruined everything?
Yes. He's actually got a ton of hit points, but he can die, and if he dies, it's game over. So it is an escort quest. But really, you should be what you're supposed to do here is ignore these goo things and just shoot the nests. And I think once you know what to do, it's all right. But my goodness, I played through this so long, just thinking I needed to kill these things faster, or
Shit,
just not miss.